Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Ari Hansen and I created this channel, My Teacher, Not My Cancer, because I am stage 4 clear cell renal cell carcinoma, and I think there's a lot of us out there that are looking for resource, we're looking for community, we're looking for ways to manage our day-to-day life having cancer and having to navigate through all the different things that come up along the way, the medical aspects, the finances, the mental health, the psychological health overall. There are so many different things that I think maybe I didn't find a whole lot on YouTube about. And I am a visual learner and I like to watch videos when I'm trying to learn something new. So I thought it would be very cool to make this channel, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. So just to start with the name, My Teacher, Not My Cancer, I think probably a lot of you guys have already heard about, like, you shouldn't claim your cancer, it shouldn't be my cancer, and maybe that's true. So instead of maybe claiming it to be your cancer, how about claiming that it's your teacher? And for me, that has been true. It has been true in a lot of different ways so far, and today I'm still learning. So I think it's very fitting that cancer is your teacher and it's not your cancer. It's a journey that you're on. So I thought that was pretty cool, and you can let me know in your comment section what you think about this name. And but this episode specifically, I would like to talk a little bit about claiming your power and or reclaiming it. I think during cancer journey, you tend to kind of lose a little bit of your power, and you get kind of drowned in the whole world of cancer, the oncology world, the insurance world, the family, and the drama that comes with it, and there's a lot, and I think it's very easy to kind of get lost in that, and I have found myself getting lost in this whole world, and I needed to take a step back and reclaim my power. So today's episode will be about that, and I hope you really like it. So before we go deeper into that, I would like to share a little bit about my journey with cancer, and a little bit maybe why I'm making this YouTube channel and why it's important to me. In 2023, January to be specific, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer. I had a full nephrectomy, and at that point, we really thought they had got the whole cancer out, and I was good to go. And everybody hopes that, right? Only to find out about 3 months later that there was a little bit of a growth in the other kidney. And so I decided at that point that before I would start any kind of medical treatments, that I wanted to see if I could manage this or to eradicate my cancer with holistic approach. So I did a little bit of a research, and what I liked the very most was a protocol that some of you might have already heard about through Chris Beat Cancer. He did the whole first 90 days where you're just doing raw, vegan, and juicing. So I decided to do that. I'd never done the full raw vegan before, and that was a really good experience for me, and I really enjoyed how I felt and how my body was. And it was a lot of work to change my diet, although my diet was pretty healthy before that, but I definitely wasn't vegan and I wasn't raw. So that was a lot of preparation, and it was a lot of work, but I physically really enjoyed it. And definitely there was part of me that thought that maybe I would have won the battle with cancer at that point, and only to find out on my next scan cancer had started growing in my other kidney. So at that point I still wasn't really ready to take on the Western medicine, and I thought I could somehow do this myself, and I decided to try ketogenic diet. And based on some scheduling, I had 4 months before my next scan. So I spent 4 months doing really strict ketogenic diet, and it was interesting. It wasn't my favorite. I felt very limited of what I could eat, which is true. That's kind of the nature of it. But I like to stay away from processed food. So I was having a hard time with it. But with that said, I did stick to it for 4 months, and I did have some good results physically. But when it came to the scans, my scans were not good. And I was definitely stage 4. I was stage 4 before that, but it was still growing and spreading, and at that point I felt a little defeated. So I decided to go on immunotherapies, Keytruda and Inlyta, and that was my journey for the next few months. I didn't have any side effects from it. I was doing really well on it, and I was feeling normal. And but my scans, I did 2 separate scans 3 months later, and then 2 months later after that. They just weren't showing the results that we wanted. We still did have some spreading. Everything had slowed down, but we did still have some spreading. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, where we just stopped that treatment. And I was offered to go on a clinical trial that will start in a couple of weeks. So for me, this has been a lot of just negative news, and just not where I wish we were going. And so that has been very taxing on me. And I've been finding ways to kind of just process all this through writing, through praying, through journaling. And also I think part of it is going to be this YouTube channel. And one of the things that I was kind of looking on YouTube for were stories from people dealing with cancer. And I was mostly looking for successful stories, and I was finding unsuccessful stories more than I was finding successful stories. But there are also just not a whole lot of content out there from people like you and me that are just kind of dealing with cancer on a daily basis, and we're not promoting, programs or anything like that. So that's why I really wanted to make this channel, is because I believe, and I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of you guys out there that are just like me, that are living in the 20th century, where living with stage 4 cancer actually is not a death sentence, and it can take many years, or it might, you might even heal from it. But in the meantime, you're living with cancer, and you're living with all the things that come with it. You're living with the appointments and the scans, and all the narrative that comes with cancer, and telling people that you have cancer, and dealing with work and all these things if you can. So it's a lot of things to deal with, and I just wanted to share this on YouTube with you guys, and maybe create a little bit of a community around this where we can share our stories together. So that is my intention, and that is who I am, and I'm really looking forward to sharing some more with you guys. So how do we reclaim our power? How do we claim our power if you are one of those people that maybe never felt like you were in power or empowered in your life? And those are really big questions that maybe we can't answer in one short video, but I think it's really important to just kind of take a moment and see and figure out if there's little things that you can do to just kind of feel more empowered in your life when you are dealing with cancer and all the things that come with dealing with cancer, with families and friends and work and hospitals and insurance and all that, like I mentioned before. So what I did for myself was that I just wanted to first to just write some things down for myself that were representation of what being in power was or is, and how I feel empowered or in power. And so I took a piece of paper and pen and I wrote things down, such like words like confidence. Confidence is a big one because, you know, you want to be able to hold your confidence level a little bit high in this, and like, hey, this is me, and I'm doing this, and you know, I'm still a person, and I'm still somebody that matters, and I'm not just a cancer patient, right? So what I did for myself, and this might be something that you might do for yourself too, is I just reminded myself of the things that I felt like I was very good at, and the things that made me feel good. What that was, you know, taking care of my animals, being in the garden, planting and doing all that, and writing was one of the big things that I really enjoyed doing. My meditation and yoga, all these things that kind of made me feel in my body and made me feel here right now. Those are the things that really helped me remember who I am and build my confidence. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I can do this. And that was a big piece of it for me. And another word that I wrote down, or another thing that I wrote down, was healthy boundaries. And you know, those become very important for you as you navigate through all this, because you're gonna have so many different things coming at you from a different place, whether that be in family and friends and work, and the same thing, the insurance, the doctors. There's a lot of different things that are going to happen, and somehow you gotta be able to find a way to hold some boundaries around how you process things, because once everything comes at you at the same time, it becomes very overwhelming. And so it took me a while to figure out some pieces at it, and I'm still figuring some pieces out about it. But there were certain things that I noticed were very helpful for me. For example, with my work life, in the beginning, I was sharing everything, pretty much how I was doing, and I was sharing, I was going to the doctors and I was getting scans, and then sometimes I would have to leave early, and I would have asked to leave early, and sometimes became a lot, and so there was a time where I noticed things were kind of getting a little gray zoned. So I decided at that time that I'm not gonna really speak about my cancer journey anymore at work, and unless somebody asks about it, then I'm okay with answering questions and engaging in the conversation, but I'm not gonna bring it up anymore, because now this is a place where I work, and that's a place where I do my work, and you know, technically maybe don't have cancer, and then somewhere else I deal with it in a different way. So another thing is just my family and my friends, and how do I talk to people, and what do I want to talk about emotionally, spiritually, and you know, and part of it is my this home life. How do I want to be at home? And obviously in the beginning, you know, there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of crying, and there's a lot of emotions that come with being diagnosed, and things escalating and getting worse, and people, your friends and family, are worried, and you know, they're sad. So at some point I wanted, and I mentioned this to the people around me, I'm like, I want to talk about these things, but I don't want to get consumed by those things in my home. I want to have a sanctuary that is like my place where I feel comfortable, and I feel I can recharge, and I can be myself, and I don't have to worry too much. Of course, there's always going to be times where you have to talk about things, and there's logistics involved and things like that. But I was like, I want my home to be a place of restoration, And so that was one of it. I had to create boundaries with my mother, my family, and how I am with them and how I talk to them. And so there's definitely a lot of different pieces that you might know for yourselves where you feel like your boundaries are being pushed and you maybe don't feel like talking about all these things with certain people. Which ties into another thing that I think is important for getting your strength back and cultivating your strength is get support, because that was one big thing for me that I was kind of reluctant to do. I did join I did join a support group a while back, and it was very good for me, and I liked talking about those things. But there was something else that I wanted, and I ended up actually going to a therapy that is kind of a lady that is specialized working with cancer patients. And that was something that really helped me also just kind of process my emotions away from my home. So I am like out there, and that's a place where I can talk about things that are bothering me with cancer or however that is, and then that's there, and then here's here. So I definitely recommend getting support however you want to do it, whether that's joining a support group or seeing a therapist or however that works for you, having a friend that you can go to and just talk about all these things. Also, another piece of this is, you have a choice. Don't forget that you do have a choice. You can choose if you want to do certain treatments or not. And if things are not feeling right, you can choose not to do those things. And I think a lot of people kind of forget that, or they believe that everything is happening for them, that's the right thing. But there has been medication for me that haven't felt right for me, and I had to fight to get a different medication. There's definitely even a doctor that wasn't working for me. I had to actually say goodbye to her, and I had to find myself another doctor because things weren't they needed to be for me, and I didn't feel like I was being heard, or I wasn't being taken care of in a way that I needed to be taken care of. So don't be afraid to make a new choice, and remember that you have a choice when you do this. Another one that was very big, for example, is forgiveness. That is definitely one that I am working on still, but there's I think as I mentioned earlier, I did definitely have gotten a lot of information through Chris Beat Cancer website and podcasts and all that stuff, and it's a lot of people know that in that protocol you really have to find forgiveness in your heart to all those people that hurt you and that you are angry towards. And although I don't really have a whole lot of people that I'm angry with, but there's definitely people that I had to do some forgiveness work with, and my mother is definitely one of them, and so that is another piece that will really help you really bring back your personal power. Speak the truth. Just you are here fighting for your life every day, and there's no need to hide anymore. Lay it all out there. Just be yourself. This is your chance to really just be truthful and honest with everyone around you. And so don't be afraid of it. It's very freeing, and it's very healthy for your mental process going through this whole thing. And one of the last things is to make sure you just have a positive environment around you. It does tie into your boundaries and stuff, but it's create a space for yourself in your home or even in your workplace or wherever you're at, where you really feel good and you feel relaxed and you feel where you're at in your life, where you have the chance to just let your body heal, whether you're going through a chemotherapy or you're going through immunotherapies or you're going through holistic treatments. Your body needs the environment where it's not stressed and it's in a place where it can heal. So make sure you can somehow create that, tying in, like I said, with the boundaries. Like if you need to talk to your friends or your roommates when they're in the house, and or your family members that are coming and going, or like if you can somehow negotiate with your environment to create a little bit more relaxed and healing environment, that is definitely a big piece to this. So yeah, these are just some of the things that really helped me step into my power again. And I think we're all going to be a little bit different, and you might find yourself in a place where there are other things that you need for yourself to reclaim your own power in this journey. And that's totally cool. I think it's a really good exercise just to kind of sit down and write on a piece of paper what it is that you feel that you need, and then you could do whatever you want with it. You can meditate on it, or you can have it in a practice, or you can do a video like I am doing. Any of those things are really help, but definitely taking an action on this was powerful for me, and just reflecting on it again is even powerful for me. So I want you guys to know that all these things are important for us to be able to navigate through this really challenging journey that we're on, dealing with cancer on a daily basis. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I am definitely learning and how to do videos first of all, and this is very exciting for me, and I hope you got something out of it. And I hope you leave me some comments down below, and I will send out another video when I can. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.